the full moon, it's the full worm moon, meaning hence the beginning of summer. I mean spring. Woo. Okay, the earthworms are coming out, and they attract the birds, and hence we start hearing all the chirping, and spring has thus begun. Now, this full moon is in an air sign. It is in 4 degrees Libra. So let's go see the Sabian symbol. The Sabian symbol, a group of students of higher truth in summer conference are seated about a campfire in unconscious meditation. First of all, we got a group of students. It's a summer conference. It's not one that's going to be a lifelong interaction. Students, they are willing to learn, to elevate, to expand their mind, okay? And not only are they there to expand their mind, but they're also at a conference of breathing and being one with nature, okay? And campfire, there's the earth element, there's the fire element, and in unconscious meditation, really going and using those Jupiter senses, the Sagittarian and Piscean, okay, of really elevating. And we have that double because of the higher truth. You know, there's the Sagittarian ideas again, and the group, that Aquarian idea, the working together and using those energies to just really elevate and to push forward, not push forward to, but fly forward, flow forward very easily. And that is the nice thing about that, okay? Another type of symbol is the broken wedding ring lying on a table. And this is the relationship one has with themselves. They're going, isn't that wedding ring of marriage? True. But before you can really consider your relationship with another person, one has to acknowledge what is going on in that phase of their life. You know, there is giving stability to the table. It's not a broken wedding ring lost, but it is on the table, meaning I am going to have to, I'm balanced, I am aware of this, I'm very conscious of my decision. Okay. Um, a broken wedding ring, it is no longer working. Okay. The marriage, the energies are now working in together with one another, perhaps in opposition, all right, or creating obstacles for each other's soul evolution. And so then the wedding is no longer. I know that when I marry people before, I usually have them write their own vows, and they have to have a couple of session conferences with me, and we discuss why are you getting married. And a lot of times we'll do one session with me alone, and they'll do another session with their potential spouse. And sometimes they're like, oh, because I love them. And then I'll be like, what is love? And they're like, oh, well, it's this feeling. And then we have to develop more and more in the final answers then to use those final answers and say, do you think in 5 years from now, those same answers of why you want to marry him is still going to be appropriate in your life, within your own relationship with yourself? And in 10 years, and can you be willing to allow that person to grow, not knowing which direction they're going to grow? And if it still supports your own agenda. So those are very important. And a lot of times people get married because it was romantic. Ah, yes, the sex was good and it seemed fun. The sex and the food was good and back and forth, but no one wanting to deal with the practicality of who's paying the bills, who's cleaning what, who's ironing what, who's cutting what, taking out the garbage. Okay. Um, how is that, balanced? And those things need to take very much in effect, because traveling, going out, dancing, eating, going to concerts, that's the dating, that's the courting, that's the romance. And that is not the cohabitation part of marriage. And that doesn't give any basis if one is compatible with another for marriage. That's very important to acknowledge and to see. Okay, so now let's move on to the full moon in Libra. We talked about Libra being a very relationship sign. And most of all, it is a relationship with oneself, especially this one, because you have the moon, which is a feminine sign. It's in Libra, which is a masculine sign. So we're trying to balance out those uh, the energies, the masculine, feminine energies, and really acknowledging that relationship with oneself. Now, in opposition of that, though, we have Mercury. Mercury's hanging out, and it's an opposition in Pisces. Mercury in Pisces is very poetic, very flowing. I know someone who has their Pisces, their Mercury in Pisces, and they would never tell me they were going to go take a shower. What they would say is, "Hey, I'm going to go jump in the lake." And I thought I was like such a Mercury and Pisces thing to say, such a creative way. Okay. And so with the moon, though, wanting clarity, because it's an air sign, it wants clarity because then it wants some logic too. So that way there's balance. Some of the creativity could get lost in appreciation there. So, especially too, because we have squaring both of those, we have um, a mutable T cross there, T square, sorry, mutable T square, and that's with Mars, okay, in Sagittarius. So Mars wants to push forward. It's in Sagittarius. It's like, let me go. I got the fire. I want to wander. I need to see. I want to expand and go because, it's ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter's in Virgo, which is nice because it's saying, let's be logical, let's be logical, let's be practical. And that Mars is just like, let me out. I want my freedom. Okay. And so if one knows that about themselves, pushing too hard is not going to work. It's just going to cause more frustration. All right. And so knowing about that frustration, it's best just to take it step by step and see what can be done and what cannot be done. Now we have another mutable T square, and that is with Venus, all right, in Pisces at 13 degrees. Hence, it's also conjunct Neptune there, just heads up there. So again, that nucleus, drinking too much alcohol, any kind of medicated or legal or illegal drugs, too much of that is going to cause us situations and problems. And that being in Pisces, having the opposite in Virgo with Jupiter there, there's a lot of intestinal and digestive systems out of whack. So the best thing to do is eat an alkaline diet. Start off with your fruit in the morning. If you must have your simple starchy carbs, you have that in the afternoon with some vegetables, and then in the evening have your protein with vegetables. Remember, half your plate should be protein. Now, some of you are gonna laugh, but I mean, uh, I'm no perfect person. We all know that. That's not what I'm gonna say. Laugh, but there's times that I eat at In and Out. I eat the protein style, no burgers. No fries, just protein style, and I have three meats there. Besides, they look kind of shrunk and well done. So that way for the protein and all the vegetables. Okay. So really think about how are you mixing your food. Remember, if you're getting anything that is uh, what is it called, caked over the meats, you're ruining it and you're causing poison in your body, toxicity. Okay, don't. Remember, it's the quality of life that you want. Do you want to be able to move around? Do you want to be able to bend, jump, walk upstairs, hug your kids, or do you want them to only spend time with you lying around? Okay, do you like to wake up and be alert, or are you dragging your feet? Okay, if you really like that feeling of being exhausted, go ahead. Put that crap in your body. Put that poison in your body. Just enjoy it, no matter what it means on your taste buds, okay? But I don't. I like to be able to move around. I know there's other people like me. We like to move around. We like to be able to breathe the fresh air and just really enjoy life. So, and those are decisions one needs to make, okay? Because with that Jupiter, they're just pushing. Now, also because that Jupiter, and we are squaring Saturn. So again, we are wanting our freedom, but we need to be Saturn saying, be practical. Take it easy with that. Take it easy. I have a friend who always says, take it easy. And so maybe I'm not doing the right accent. I apologize. My son's probably going, Mommy, don't, just don't. Okay. So, which is fine. So everything, taking everything in consideration and everything in balance. And then, so knowing that we have that Venus there with a Neptune, okay, and Nucleus. So just, we have, again, we have such an extreme with Venus and Neptune. A lot of love is going out there, a lot of love, especially to the collective consciousness, to society, to the world, to all of the universe, okay? And there's that realistic and then being practical of what we can offer, and at the same time, knowing that we cannot run away with it, okay? So really just taking all that in. And now, if you're a fire sign, you're going to find that Sagittarius, that Saturn in Sagittarius just being frustrating for you, okay? Um, so, but I mean, like the Aquarius who are sextile, it's like, it's piece of cake. So in earth signs, more or less. Do know though, Taurans are probably frustrated with it too because it's in conjunct its sign. It just wants to expand and it does not like it. Okay, it's really trying to use that Venus and Pisces, and yet it's feeling like it's getting, you know, having some kind of restraints on it. Okay, so we talked about that we have a fire trine with Mars being in Sagittarius with Mercury and um, and the Sun in Aries. So there is a lot of want to move on what we're, whoops, stop. Did I say? I really got to write my notes clear. Okay, sorry about that. And Mercury is in Pisces. I don't know why I had it right there, yet it is, okay. So, hello, this is La Sirena Nereida, and we're talking about the individual forecast for the lunar eclipse and for degrees Libra in March of 2016, March 23rd of 2016. So we talked about how this is a full worm moon, meaning hence it falls around the time of the equinox, and it's a time of equal um, sunlight and nighttime. So this is a time of equality because the full moon is falling in Libra, which is about harmony as long as there is um, it's really a Libra. A lot of people like to say that, oh, this is, and I'm not trying to put negative shadows, but it's a very harmonious and it's ruled by Venus. Yes, but it's negotiation. Let's be honest. The scales represent merchant. What can you give me? And then I will give you. Or if you give me something of value, then I will give you perhaps what you consider a value. But it's not of unconditional love. It's not one of luxuriant. It's one of feeding off of each other's energies, okay? That is really is stroking each other's egos. That is really what Libra's about. And Libra gets attached and addicted to certain energies. And when it's not getting it, then it becomes like, well, I don't want to cut the strings. I don't want to burn my bridges. I'll just kind of mosey on out and maybe we'll see if that section or that person can give me those energies again after all I did once before. Not realizing that there's something that has gone amiss within the relationship. So, um, that is something to be aware of and to take in to account. That is why the Librans have kidney problems because they're constantly on fright, fight, flight, mostly on fright and flight because they're worried about situations, the relationships, as opposed to the relationship with themselves, which is very much more important. Hi, Ragnar. Okay, so now let's go with the individual forecast. The individual forecast. Aries, this is all about your seventh house. Okay, there's certain endings, separations, there's certain things that you are no longer wanting to offer, certain things that is no longer applicable to your phase of life. It sounds superficial, but most people think that really love relationships need to last forever. No, they don't. What is needs to last forever is the respect of each other's soul and appreciation for the phase of that relationship. Now, if a relationship happens to last forever, hopefully those two people, that couple, have been growing and they've been growing together. Otherwise, they're stagnating and pulling each other down. So it's a matter of perspective. Hollywood, television, movies glamorize those kind of relationships, yet it's mostly the people with the earth sign and water sign who are looking for stability, okay? And they will dumb themselves down. They will uh, anchor themselves down and put a ball of chain just for that stability because it's fear-based as opposed to growing and evolving and being part of the unknown. So it's really a mentality that certain cultures have really idealized, mostly because they had a voice and they had a money to give that voice to the rest of society. So it's a matter of a different way of thinking, and it's very important. But what's most important is to understand, Aries, is that relationship with yourself, because as you are evolving, you are only going to be able to give so much. And what is it that are you going to be giving? Do you want to give, support? Do you want to give actually acts of services? Do you want to give, monetary gifts? Words of encouragement, a combination of things. All right. And once you realize and have developed more that relationship with yourself and knowing what you want to give and what is it that in this phase of your life you're needing to receive, then you can go into a relationship and say, hey, I can guide you. But if you're just going in out of pure lust, that's really a karmic issue of you having done something wrong or that other person has hurt you in a past life. In astrology, that thunderbolt is a warning, heads up, and in other spiritual practices, that has been misinterpreted again from Hollywood television and movies to say, this is fate, this is something. What it means is, I hurt that person. That person has hurt me. We did not respect each other's soul. Wow. So the best thing to do is instead of replaying what has happened in the past life and destroying each other, okay, soulfully and emotionally and psychologically, is to just acknowledge to that person. And I've done this where I say, hey, um, I just want to say that your soul deserves a lot of respect. It's a beautiful soul, and it has gone through so much, through so many lifetimes. And if I have ever hurt you in this lifetime or in a past life, I apologize and just want to let you know that I acknowledge the worthiness of your soul. And what'll happen essentially when you see that person again, if you do, that thunderbolt no longer exists. It's like, oh, and it has happened, and sorry, and it has happened where those people have come to me and said, I have to tell you something. There was this, I couldn't stop looking at you, or there was this, I had this like thunderbolt thing in me, and then after you told me that, it was like, like a relief. Thank you. I was like, my pleasure. So, really, that is what's going on, Aries, and something to take into account, okay? All right, let's move along. And Aries, and everybody else, please remember when listening to the forecast to or watching the forecast that a complete forecast would be, you're gonna laugh going, oh gosh, they don't tell you this, Of course, media wants to tell you just enough because your attention span has, become less and less. But your sun sign, your moon sign, your ascendant, also known as your rising or time of birth sign, and if you want a very good one, your North Node, your soul purpose sign. Okay, so listening, watching to all those will give you a better idea of what's going on in your life. Okay, here we go. Um, Taurus, this is happening in your sixth house, all right? And in your sixth house, this is your daily life, your activities, your physical interaction with the world and nature. This is where you have your big pets. I mean, your little pets, sorry. This is where your coworkers fall in, the people you interact with on a daily basis, people who help you out, your assistants. And this is where how you interact with Mother Gaia and your relationship with your body, your physique, and having that groundedness. When you are grounded with all that, everything else comes better. And this is in Libra. And for you, this is not, this is like an in conjunction. This isn't, not like, it is an in conjunction. Okay, because it is not flowing as easily. It's interesting because even though both you, Taurus and Libra, are ruled by Venus, you guys have different purposes and use Venus differently, all right? And hence, in knowing that, you enjoy Venus of the sensuality, of enhancing the pleasures, and in sharing the pleasures, okay? A Libra is more of a business negotiation. How do you fit in my life? How can I use you? All right, and then I shall be pleasant. Um, okay, so it's more of one of Libra's more one of society niceties, but not of true depth. Okay, and I'm not saying that you're not into that you're not pleasant in societies and that your manners are out. What I'm saying more is that it is of the senses. It is a deeper pleasure and deeper inner beauty. It's not concentrated on the physical beauty. Okay, well, it can be, but it is that inner beauty that comes out in the physical, that connection with the world of Mother Gaia, of nature, of really feeling those energies, that connection with an interchange of energy. Okay, and that is something that's very different. So when we are not paying attention to that, our energies can be off. So Taurus is very a good time to take off your shoes and be barefoot when possible, especially when there's grass. And if you're watering the grass instead of sprinklers, water the grass and be barefoot there. Take a walk at the park without your shoes. Like that scene from what is it back in the 80s? Oh, Pretty Woman, where she gets Julia Roberts gets Richard Gere to take off his shoes and he's in his suit and just feeling the grass underneath his feet and letting that energy and be one with it. Okay, it's time to really take notice that things need to change in your daily life. Become stagnated, and when we have that stagnation, those dust bunnies that are collecting in the corner, we need to clean that out. And have new things come into our life. Change your routine up, okay? Your relationships had been the past 2 years have been going up and down and up and down, and in realizing that, it's have caused some upheaval, and you who like stability, it's just kind of like, oh, why is this going on? But take it as an understanding that stability is good, routine is nice for 6 months. then change it up again for 6 months. We have cycles in our lives, Taurus, and that's something we need to accept. Okay, there's going to be different chapters in our life, have different focuses and different purposes. And when we become too attached to that one section, okay, then we are pulling ourselves down and not allowing ourselves to evolve and become higher and become lighter. And so, and by doing that, we hurt our own self, our own soul evolution. We are not forgiving. And this is something very important because one needs to forgive themselves, okay? And forgiving others. It's not condoning that something has happened. It is being aware that they are human and being aware that there has things that have happened and being aware of your limits and boundaries and saying, okay, I will only involve myself up to a certain extent. Very important. Okay, moving right along. We got Gemini here. Gemini, oh, let me put here the time, sorry. Um, Okay, Gemini. So this is happening in your fifth house, the solar eclipse. Things are changing, and perhaps on a more typical cycle of life level. Maybe one of your children is leaving to college, and you're like, "Yay, this is it!" At the same time, oh no! But you're Gemini. You'll get over it real quickly, okay? And you're really happy about that, or there is some kind of confrontation going on where the child needs to go into a different home. Or, I mean, once again, Gemini, always listen and read, watch, listen, depending on where you're getting your information. Not just your sun sign forecast, but your moon sign and also your rising, your time of birth sign. It's also known as your ascendant, okay, and your soul purpose. So that way you're more aware. If not, you're being very superficial. And I say this because Gemini is known for what? All right, just skimming the top. Get a little bit deeper when you're watching those forecasts, okay? Especially if you have your soul purpose in Sagittarius, right? And Virgo, because if not, you are only going to create panic. You guys are known for your panic attacks, and that is because you're not getting the full information about what is going on. And so then you just start exaggerating everything, and it becomes a drama, and then your fight, your nervous system goes overload. So those panic attacks, those asthma attacks, those anxiety is something you cause yourself. Even if it's some people say, well, it's hereditary. Hereditary means that someone else does that and in your family, and you have learned to react in that same manner. Okay? That's what really hereditary means. You're doing the exact same thing that's hurting them to yourself. All right? And you know that. And if you don't, then go further deeper. Yes, I'm telling you, Gemini, because you're having issues with growing, you're having partnership issues right now with Saturn in your seventh house, and it is really time to understand, okay? So now your developmental in the media and entertainment, things are going to be changing, and you like to change. There's only one sign I know that says this. They'll say, I'm bored, and that is Gemini's. And Gemini, what usually that tells the rest of the world is you are not being flexible, you are not busying yourself, you are wanting other people to entertain you. You are feeding off your energies, you're feeding off of other people as opposed to being one with the universe. So get it together, okay? This is mommy speaking now. Get it together, get grounded, focus on yourself and developing those energies, developing those pleasures, entertaining yourself. Read, dance, play music, be a DJ. But really develop those sides of you, all right? because then you will never have to insult yourself or embarrass yourself and say, I'm bored. That is not a positive phrase, all right, to say out loud. And if no one told you, I'm telling you now, so you can just go, I see a bunch of Geminis going on their Facebook and saying, okay, let me delete every time I said that on my Facebook. Do that. It would be best. It would behoove you. Okay. Another thing, Gemini, is this opportunity to really change and to allow yourself to evolve. And music has always been an avenue for you to let yourself go. So go ahead, take up another, if you think you've already got that cello down, learn the trumpet, the guitar, learn something new. Or if you got that, you know, uh, the salsa down as a dance move, now learn a new dance. Up it up. Okay. So instead of thinking as something is leaving, it's an opportunity for you to focus on something else to add to your repertoire. Okay. And that you do like. So everybody likes a very extensive repertoire. Okay. And so give yourself that opportunity. All right. Um, Cancer, you're having this a full moon, oops, this full moon in your fourth house. Again, Cancer, like I've been telling every sign, please remember to watch, listen, read, however you decide to get, however you decide to get your information, your forecast, okay? But remember to not only just your sun sign, but also your moon sign, your ascendant, which is your time of birth sign, or also known as your rising sign, and then your soul purpose, all right? To get a better idea of what is going on. Otherwise, it's a very superficial forecast from anyone, okay? So by getting that mixture, the melange, all right, you will get a better idea of what's going on in your life. So, this is something that's going on. You're having changes in your first house. In your fourth house. And the fourth house is the basis of who you are, that hearth, okay? It's really what's, Ceres and the moon both rule Cancer. And it's that nurturing, but how are you nurturing yourself, okay? And are you taking on your responsibilities and priorities that you have chosen and said you would? Okay. And letting go. There's certain females probably because the moon is a female. There's probably relationships that you are letting go in your life because they have been toxic and not being positive in your life or serving. So you're letting them dissolve. And it's understood. Libra falls in that fourth house. So, and by doing that, you're allowing yourself then to expand because those toxic relationships, even if it's a relationship with a possession, maybe you had something and you just felt bad letting it go because so and so gave it to you and you had some guilt. And by not allowing to let it go, you then don't allow new opportunities in your life. So go ahead and recognize that and giving those opportunities so that way new things come into your life. Perhaps people are leaving from your actual physical home, or there's a woman that you're separating from. And this whole, just so you know, Cancer, you're very emotional. People like to say you're moody. No. Those with Cancer moon are moody, okay? Uh, the Piscean are moody. Scorpios, Capricorns are moody. Uh, Cancers are emotional. There's a big difference, okay? Those are just people with a lack of vocabulary. And I'm going to say that considering I have my Venus in Virgo in the third house. So, there's a big difference between moody and emotional. So be careful. If your moon is in Cancer, you will be very moody and take it to heart. Any kind of absence or leaving. You guys are really connected to the past, which is nice because we can heal ourselves from the past. But we have to move forward. If we do not move forward, we are not evolving. You're just stuck. Why even live? I know that sounds so drastic. How could I say that? But it's the truth. You are not living. You're just repeating the same day over and over and over and saying, "Well, see, I'm keeping everything safe, and when I die, see, I made it." You thinking it's a race that or a challenge of making without realizing you need to evolve, all right? And really, there's a transformation in this lifetime. There's nurturing that needs to be done and nurturing of yourself. But as you nurture yourself, one still has to be of priorities. I know Cancer parents, they're either the best supportive, nurturing parents, or they're the worst. And because they had children, but then they're all like, okay, because they're so feeding off the energies of others. Cancer, this is a time you really need to build your own hearth, your own inner flame, and that is by being connected, okay, and being grounded. The fourth house is on the bottom of the zodiac of being grounded, the roots, okay? And understanding your relationships and why you have chosen certain relationships in your life. What have they been feeding you that you are choosing not to feed yourself through your connection with Source, with the Great White Light, with the Divine Creator, with the universe, okay? And every other possible name, Mother Gaia, which is the feminine energies, okay? What have you been denying yourself that you are trying to find worthiness or deservance through others? When really it's because of your own inner child, your own ego not allowing you to have that, okay? And so that's very, very important. And um, and in developing that, you will understand that it is okay for people to come and go through your life. And you always want better. You are not here to heal others in the sense that using yourself as a victim, as a martyr, which Cancerians will do. Oh, I want to help them. You go and trying to help others by avoiding really helping yourself and healing yourself. And you think by doing that you get to heal yourself. And that is not necessarily true, only depends where your Chiron is, okay? So, which I'm talking about the asteroid. Uh, so, really make sure that you are not trying to heal others and being involved in other people's lives because in reality, you wish someone had done that for you. Okay, you need to do that for yourself. You need to be your own mother. You need to be your own daddy and mommy. All right? And in that, be a better one who can nurture others. Okay, so now let's go to Leo. Leo, this full moon, a lunar eclipse, is happening in your third house. Third house represents your neighborhood, technology, your automobile. I'm thinking of sorry, Pretty in Pink. Those of you who no, not Pretty in Pink. 16 Candles. Sorry, I knew it was a Molly Ringward movie. But anyway, um, this is a time of primary education, involvement, communication with your siblings, cousins, even aunts and uncles, which sometimes falls the 6th and 12th, but also in the third. And how you see yourself. Maybe you're going to let go. You finished teaching a class and you're going to move on, okay? Maybe you're going to learn a new class, how to put in harmony, and or it's one of learning to exchange energy with siblings. Maybe you're taking a philosophical, ideological class, one that's going to help you open up, maybe letting go of some technology, which means you get to update, All right, especially because you guys got a new eclipse, a solar eclipse happening in your sign later on this year. Okay, I say that because it's my second house. I mean, mostly in my first, but second, and you guys also, Leo also rules my third. So I've got you a Leo in 3 houses there. Yep. And so, and there's opportunities of updating the electronics and technology, but a lot of communication, perhaps a form of communication you're using, is no longer needed. And so you have decided to let that go. Um, there are certain things too of your relationships with your siblings and why it has been as it has. Maybe there's needs to be a change. Maybe it's because they're moving or they're taking another class or a job, which is requiring them to have to focus more, all right, and not as much interaction. Um, there is the opportunity also that you are learning to develop your speaking skills, your writing skills. Maybe you're going to be part of Toastmasters, okay? Or your logical skills and really thinking how to be, part of a better way of expressing yourself or become part of the media in the sense you work in a bookstore or you are at a magazine place, okay? Or at the community cable station or radio station. So those are opportunities, maybe taking a voiceover class. Leos, especially if you have your Mercury in Leo, or if you have your Mercury in Virgo, there's a lot of opportunities of singing there, but that projection for that voiceover, okay? Doing soliloquies, right? Who does soliloquies right anymore? Well, I do, I guess, in this video, huh? But so you have a lot of opportunities there to allow you have fulfilled one chapter of your life and now go to something new that's going to better enhance you, all right, and better it'll be a more true, authentic representation of who you are becoming and evolving into. So that's very something positive, and you know, worst. I mean, it could be just as simple as taking an SAT book and going over the vocabulary, learning a new word every day. Okay, I know as when I used to teach a foreign language, I always, believe it or not, my first years of teaching, I would listen to the English teachers and go, "Oh my gosh, I love their vocabulary." And my son's father, whom I was married to, he had graduated from Stanford, so he had this. I mean, one of the things I fell in love with him was because I got this mental orgasm with the way he would express himself, and this vocabulary was intense. And one has to realize that when I went to college and received my BA, I majored and minored in 2 different languages, and neither one of them was English. So my vocabulary is extensive. It's a conglomerate of many other languages. So once I was teaching at the high school level, and I would hear these other teachers, I started feeling a little bit insecure and going, "Oh my gosh, I want to express myself in such a manner. I'm a professional now, not a little child." And so, I mean, I only took in college the one requisite of English that was necessary. So I think it was speech and then, English 101. But so what I started doing was I took the SAT. I go, well, first let me dominate this and or complete this was the SAT vocabulary. And I would take the word and I would write it on the board, you know, and then I would put the French, because I taught French and I taught Spanish, and put the French translation and the Spanish translation underneath it. So that way it was not just enhancing mine, but also my students, and it was called the word of the day. Okay, so by doing that for many, many years, I grew my vocabulary not only in English, but in French and in Spanish. And You know, they do say, though, when you don't use it, you lose it. So, Leo, there's many opportunities and using simple steps to do it. And you are a leader. You enjoy being a leader. It comes natural. But to be a leader, one has to have trust in that leader that they know what they're doing, what they're saying. All right? I mean, if the people fall, can you catch them? Or are you just being a leader to arrogantly show yourself off? Then go into acting. But be aware that a true leader has at one time or another been a follower. And as a follower, they're very, very aware of all the insecurities and needs about someone who follows. So once they become a leader, those needs and insecurities can be addressed, and that is what a true leader can do. So use this time to really be able to address that in your life. All right, let's moving right along. A Virgo. Again, Virgo, I'm telling everybody to remember to watch, listen, read. Um, your forecast not only for your sun sign, but also for your moon sign and your ascendant, also known as your rising or time of birth sign, and if possible, your north node, which is your soul purpose sign. Okay, that way you get a better understanding, a real, true, in depth what is going on with this lunar eclipse, because the lunar eclipse has a a strength of at least six, full moons. All right. So this is happening in your second house. There is something you're leaving behind of personal value. And what I mean is you had so long consider something, a certain philosophy or ideology that you took upon yourself to evaluate yourself, your values, and you are saying this is no longer needed. You are allowing yourself to be free, which is good because you being a mutable sign, you need that. You're like, oh, finally, I was actually tying myself down too much, and probably even giving yourself a little bit too much criticism, and it's not necessary. You will criticize yourself way more than anybody else will criticize you. And that will put a guilt. And sometimes that guilt, instead of moving forward, can paralyze you and shock you. So we really need to let go any of those negative aspects that are not enhancing, that are not supporting those ideas and thoughts and beliefs and perspectives, okay, that are tying you down. So let go of those fears. It could be thoughts also of personal finances or personal possessions that you are going to decide to do away with that are no longer serving this epic, this chapter, this phase of your life. And by doing that, it's going to alleviate you. All right. You have been going through a lot. You have Saturn in your fourth house, so there's been a lot of movement and things going on at home. And so, and if you're over 30, then you're probably going to have it in your progression in about 2 years, okay? But what you really can do, Virgo, is think about what happened about 19 and a half, 18 and a half years ago. If you're over 30, then anywhere from 18 and a half to 20 years ago in your progression with these eclipses. And that'll give you a good idea of what's going to happen again. And we live our life through cycles, okay? But in a different manner, and realize it's not that bad, okay? So there's no reason for panic, there's no reason for anxiety. Just do recognize that we had that solar eclipse in Pisces. So your eating habits has to get stable, and very good alkaline diet. That food combining is very important, because a lot of times, I mean, we're seeing a lot of vegetarians, vegans, fruitarians are getting sick, gaining weight. They don't know why, because just because you're eating healthily doesn't mean they're combining the food. Different foods create alkaline or acid in our body depending on how it's mixed. Okay, it's a chemical reaction. Remember chemistry class in your body. So making sure that you are eating food that will create an alkaline, okay? Because diseases, aches, and pains occur because there is acidity in the body. We need to keep at least 7.4, and that is very important. So now that'll help you feel better when you have more alkaline in your body, which gives you more feelings of value. When we're putting junk and crappy stuff in our body, poison, anything that's box, can, bags, okay, bottles, then it really shouldn't be in our body. And it's going to bring us down and create more acid in our body. And by creating more acid, then our frequency lowers and it's harder to be positive. And so there's that negativity, that cynicism. Okay, Virgonians are known to be very cynical. And it's good to just change that or allow that Saturn and Sagittarius change you up. Allow this to really change it up and bring in a whole new you because you deserve to have some fun. You deserve to love yourself. Stop that self-criticism, okay? Give to yourself. And remember, your priorities, because you are such a serving sign and want to serve others. If they're over 18, they're on their own. You need to serve yourself because without you, there's nothing and you can't help anybody anyway. Okay, so focus on the priorities. Know that you did well as a parent or you did well as a nanny, as an assistant, as a coworker, but allow others to take care of themselves because otherwise what happens is you become resentful after a while because you have chosen to be of service and feel like you're not being appreciated. Instead, you are becoming now the norm and the expected and then you don't like that either. So be very aware of the kind of situation you are creating. Okay, so let's move on and thank you. We have Libras. Hi, Libras. And oh, wow, this is happening in your first house. Very quickly, Libra, I'm reminding all the signs to always remember, watch, listen, read, and depending on how you're getting your individual forecast, you're not just your sun sign, but also your moon sign and your rising or your time of birth, ascendant sign, and your soul purpose sign to get a better idea of what is going on. Okay? So we have a Libra. We have things going on in your first house. You are really deciding to change it up. Now this is a lunar eclipse. You're leaving things behind. Maybe you're doing a weight program, okay, and maybe you're trying to do some kind of plastic surgery. Just make sure you're doing now because you're Libra. Make sure you're doing it because it actually serves you as a whole to be connected with the divine creator, with the cosmos, with the universe, with the great white spirit, with source, not because it just makes you feel better. You don't know. You haven't done it. You think it will. Okay, and I say that because you're a cardinal sign, and Venus is of deals of but usually you're doing it because you think it's going to make someone else happy, and you think, well, if they're happy, they're going to give me then what I need, and that's not necessarily so. So be very aware. What is it you're doing? Okay, that's changing things. It's a time to really reach out. Okay, and see what kind of a person, a new chapter in your life, because that you are, what do you want to be? What is it you want to offer? We are all here to evolve. Are we evolving? Are you evolving? Or are you stagnating out of fear because of wanting some kind of stability? Okay. And thinking, well, if you die, well, then, I mean, you're just keeping the status quo. All right. You're not evolving. You're stagnating. You're going to have to relive that lesson either way, either in this lifetime or in the next lifetime. Okay. So might as well do it now because then, the more we evolve, the sooner we go home. And so you are one who really likes to be acknowledged. I mean, that is why one does dress a certain way as a Libra. Yet then you try and say, oh, no, I don't. So other people really do see the hypocrisy. No, It's not hypocrisy. I apologize. That was rough. The oxymoron in that. That is better. I apologize tremendously. Okay. And seeing what it is you need to do for you, because if you are not developing yourself in your connection, then you cannot give and be part of partnerships, all right? Because then you are feeding off of certain things, trying to find value in self-worth, when really value and self-worth only comes from a person, from within yourself, knowing that you are fulfilling your priorities, you're fulfilling your responsibilities, and that means, you have chosen a job and you're going to do it thoroughly and wonderfully. And because it is your passion, if you become a parent, you have agreed then, if the child is under 18, to participate in their life every single day. They are yours. You give yourself an hour or two for your needs, but then they are your concentration because they are relying on you. And that is necessary. You're focused on them. Okay. So understand the reasonings of your relationships. Okay. And how it is allowing you to develop, or are they allowing you to develop, or are you having drama? Libras are known to get involved in drama because they're so uh, attached to getting energy from other people. So be very aware, and how is that helping you and those around you? And it's time to let go of all that toxicity, let go of all that that is no longer serving you. Okay, so let's move on. Scorpio. Scorpio, these changes are Scorpio, these changes are happening in your 12th house. All right, I had a little bit of trouble getting that out there. Okay. And Scorpio, I'm telling everybody this. Remember to always watch, listen, read your horoscope, not just of your sun sign, but of your ascendant, which is your time birth, or your rising sign, your moon sign, and also your north node, which is your soul purpose sign. Okay. Very important to get a very, because sometimes they'll contradict, and you'll have to need balance within that. So really going in depth will give you a better idea of what is going on, all right? And this is happening in your 12th sign. It's time to rest. Now, since it's an eclipse, it's saying you have gone through a lot. Come on, you had Saturn in your sign for 2 years, all right, and some months. And you have been put through the ringer. Your relationships have really gone kaput, okay? And you no longer know, what it is you want to offer. Sometimes you say, I don't want to offer anything. I just want to have fun right now and just focus on that. That's fine. Just be aware that your partnerships are also on that same plane, and are in that same acknowledgement, okay? And they're not looking for potential roommates or baby makers, okay? But if you want something more, that's fine also, okay? There's time to really relax, heal yourself, take some time out, and really focus on your bases. All right, you have had your world changed about. What you thought was some stability isn't. This is good. You needed this. All right, you needed this time to really just go take a vacation to a to India, go Thailand, go somewhere to the pyramids, and just reconnect with divine creative, all that is, with source, the cosmos, the universe, to your God, to uh, the great white light, as they say. And just how is it, to allow yourself to transform. One Scorpio who just happened to return from Peru. I don't know if you got to go to the pyramids, I'm pretty sure, or Machu Picchu, but it is a good time for that. and just to get away and reconnect and find your basis again, okay? And that will really help, especially after all that. You need some healing time, some time to just say everything that you have gone through is okay, not to take it personal. It's cycles of life. These cycles of life are inevitable. When we get too comfortable, and I know you're a fixed sign, so you like to be comfortable, life changes things around. So, really, just taking some time, breathe, go to the beach, be where there's, go to the mountains and feel the air on you. Just really feel the energies. You need to really uh, appreciate that and let those energies of nature just infuse within your pores, okay? And just shake everything else off, all right? If you are doing some institutionalized healing, meaning some kind of center or going way into some kind of government establishment for your healing, or recuperation or rehabilitation, it's a good time to just ask yourself how you got yourself to this place of needing to heal, and how come you didn't keep your life balance at all times, so that way this didn't come to one extreme or another. So what is it that you're doing in your life that's pushing and making things go to extremes? Okay, you're very, very passionate, and there's a lot of depth in you, but sometimes it needs to seep out on a daily basis, at every minute, as opposed to only at one time or another, because then that could cause harm. All right, so take that into consideration. All right, Sagittarius. Sagittarius, this is happening in your 11th house of friendships. Now, your 11th house also represents goals and themes, and okay, besides groups of charity or just groups in general that you participate in. So these changes that you're choosing for your themes, I mean, after all, you have Saturn is in your first house. You are going through changes. You don't mind. You needed these changes. Life was nice. It was stagnating, and you need to be the wanderer a little, and really just go on a trip. Take the motorcycle. Go on a road trip by yourself. You don't mind, and just really, really shake things off and see how things are going. Just be careful with accidents, because we do have Uranus, okay, trining you guys. And taking it easy. I do know that a lot of Sagittarians have had accidents in the past month, okay? And so just take it easy, just take it easy. And be aware of other people, their driving habits and patterns. Also, wear your seatbelt, make sure your insurance is up to date. That would help a lot. So, your goals are changing too. What it was, uh, things you participate in, maybe certain goals you had before were nice, but you've evolved, you're changing, and you need other things now to help you connect better and be more self-fulfilled, all right? And so that's a good thing. So think about, do you want to go where it is in, technology, through friendships, help society, uh, help the underdog? Do you want to, what is it you want to do and offer your services, so that way you are a contributing member to society, a positive and admired, you know, a contributing member to society. And that way you can also affect the collective society and in a positive way, help them. You realize that there is an evolving is happening, an evolution of consciousness. And how can you participate in that with others? and be a leader, yet be part of the group, hence with it. So there is almost a revolution of evolution happening, of conscious evolution, and you are one of the leaders for that. So really letting that, letting certain perspectives and belief systems go that are no longer enhancing you, allowing you to grow and serving you is fine by all means. And sometimes friends, we are leaving friends behind, or we are choosing to focus on other friends because of that evolution, our own personal conscious evolution. Okay. And you guys don't really hate, so that's fine unless you guys got Scorpio in you, or Taurus in you. But otherwise, you're just aware and you're gonna focus now on somewhere else, and that's quite all right, and it's well to do. Okay, uh, Capricorns. Capricorns, this lunar eclipse is happening in your 10th house. Oh, you like that, okay? And first of all, Capricorns, I'm reminding all the signs that to please remember to watch, listen, read, depending where you get your forecast, how you get your forecast on a daily, monthly, weekly basis. Not just your sun sign, but also your moon sign, your ascendant sign, and your north node or your time of birth sign. I mean, sorry, your soul purpose sign, okay? To get a better, well-rounded idea of what is going on, because if not, it's very superficial. And if you base that, you are more than just your sun sign, all right? That's an obvious, okay? So that way, everything is being addressed better. Okay, so now this is happening at work. Perhaps you're having a boss leave, an authority figure leave, or a coworker at work, but it's giving you a chance then to become an authority figure, all right? And really see. Perhaps they're asking you to take over. Now, you've had to take more responsibility with things, Capricorn, especially because a lot of any Sagittarians are going through changes right now. And you are ready to do it, though you've been taking time to prepare yourself. You're taking a lot of time to prepare yourself and reposer, like we say in French, rest and refuel your energies, be healthy, eating right, and all that. So that way you can be that authority figure. Sometimes you have a habit of draining yourself. Well, the bad thing about that, Capricorn, is though you want to be a respected figure, an authority figure, one who is knows what they're doing. If you are not taking care of yourself, okay, then other people cannot trust themselves, trust in you to be for them to be vulnerable in your company, and they cannot trust in your authority. I know, as a most of you know, I'm a life coach, health coach, and relationship coach, and I do know that there was this one relationship where the woman and man both really enjoyed BDSM, and though the thing is they both enjoyed that the male was the dominant and the female was the submissive in the bedroom. The bad thing was, or the complication, I shouldn't say the bad thing, the complication was, is this man had just recently, 2 years before, had a quadruple bypass heart surgery. And he now wanted to indulge. And the female was like, you know what? Let's date a little bit longer. And so, because she was very aware that if he was not taking care of himself, and since it was so new and recent, there was a hesitant, though she really cared for this man, there was hesitance in allowing herself to be vulnerable within his domain because he had yet shown that he was truly healing himself from the inside. Okay, there were emotional consequences that affected that um, heart attack. And knowing that, Capricorn, all right? You have to be aware is not just to be an authority figure for others. You have to dominate yourself. You have to be an authority figure within yourself before others can entrust themselves to you. And that is the whole point of the story. And no matter how much they care or love you, they will not completely trust or be vulnerable within your energies. And that is very important. Can you dominate yourself? And during this, you are trying to be your own authority figure. Your relationship within yourself as an authority figure to yourself is very important here, okay? Um, and that way you can also then be an authority figure on the outside, all right? Then it doesn't matter because, see, if you don't dominate yourself, then you are still reliant on the opinions of others, okay? You are still reliant on the energies of others. Then hence you are only doing what you think you need to do, and then you're going to become unfulfilled by the time you're in your 40s because you did what was expected or thought of you, but you don't really know what you need. So that's something very important. Okay, it's moving right along. Let's go to Aquarius. Aquarius, hello. I'm letting everybody know or reminding them, please, to watch, listen, or read your other signs, not just your sun sign, but also your moon sign, your ascendant sign, and your north node sign, your soul purpose sign, to get a better idea, melange of what is going on in your life. Otherwise, it's very superficial, okay? And yes, it touches, the forecast will then touch to one part of your life, but not necessarily all of it. Okay. Well, this at least more, right, than before. And so, Aquarius, this is a time of really enhancing. Okay, you're letting go of certain things that you no longer needed. Perhaps you're giving up a philosophy and ideology. You were taking a class and it has finally finished. Okay, you were in college and you're graduating this year. I mean, remember the eclipses do have its effect even up to several couple months after, you know, 2.5 months after, and those are in college that'll equal what, February, March, April and a half. So if you're on the quarter system, that makes sense. Okay, maybe you're giving up a certain part of religion or spiritual connection, and you're going towards other ones. Okay. So anytime we have a lunar eclipse, we are also opening up opportunities. So that's how come, and it's usually that same opportunity because it allows us that focus. All right. So you're giving up certain habits that were good, but now you're going to change it. I know one Aquarian who was taking a foreign language, didn't get along with the teacher, and asked his counselor for a zero period. So now they're no longer in that foreign language class. They're taking an art class, but they're doing the foreign language class in a zero period. So they left the female. It was a female teacher, you know. That relationship severed. It's interesting how it follows and works. Okay, so think of it, you know, in different possibilities. It's not necessary. Maybe it was the class itself. It's changed, but there's a change. There's an opportunity to really get connected with Source, the universe, the cosmos, and understanding your connections with others, other cultures, taking in the good. Every culture has something beautiful to offer. Okay, I'm a mixture of cultures. My mother is 100% German, from the old land, from northern Germany, and came in her late teens. So I am brought up with those philosophies and ideologies. My biological father and my stepfather, both Mexican from Mexico, came in their late teens. So I wasn't really brought up with American ideologies. I wasn't philosophies, except when I was in the military. That then you could say those years I became American and having those, but otherwise I was very much from other places. Sometimes I felt out of place here in the United States because I could not relate to peanut butter and jelly and and mayonnaise. To this day, mayonnaise. And thank goodness I don't, because mayonnaise is bad for us. So, and me being a nutritionist and alkaline nutritionist, certain things I'm happy I didn't get it close to, all right? I'll pick Nutella over peanut butter and jelly anytime. So, my point is, Aquarius, is really that opportunity to change those things. You guys like to up it and to learn more about other cultures and spiritualities. Go ahead. You know, maybe I know we're having a drum circle next week, or right after the lunar eclipse. And so join us, look us up, La Sirena Nereida, and it's at Bosa Chica. And so join us. Do something different of philosophical. Also could be musical. Now, Sagittarians are athletes and they're very much outdoors. So there's an opportunity for you to take that road trip and get out, okay? And just, be part of the cosmos, the universe, Mother Gaia, and just be alone to yourself, all right? Um, chase that the never-ending summer, chase that wave. So that is something very good. You're realizing certain things need to change spiritually for you in your consciousness, okay? And so you are willing to make those changes. And that's a good thing because you also are a leader in this age of Aquarius, okay? And that way, when you are aware of what is going on within you, you can help others too. Okay, Piscean. Hi, Pisces. Okay, how'd you like that solar eclipse? You like those changes and new things coming into your life? Well, more so now, you are having opportunity to transform yourself, okay? And you're a mutable sign, so that going with the flow is really nice. And maybe you finally paid off something. I know my soul purpose is in the uh, ninth house, but my eighth house, recently I got to pay off the taxes. I owe taxes. Can you believe it? They said I made too much. Well, still from before when I started my business. But anyway, um, so those opportunities of paying off something, of allowing a certain transformation, maybe tantra transformation, some energetic transformation from down deep inside is finally releasing and coming out and allowing you to breathe easier, okay? So that is a good thing happening in your life. And releasing that is also releasing that ball and chain and that guilt whenever it's not addressed. So it's giving you opportunities to interact in other ways. Okay, because when we got certain things weighing us down as bills or our taxes or things like that, we cannot, it's harder to give our energies to relationships or to even our sexual interactions completely because we are focused here. And though some things are a respite, it is still the focus is here. So by being able to get all that out and releasing is a good thing, okay? As your partnerships are changing in that sense, to recognize and to represent more of you, of who you've become, okay, and who you're allowing yourself to become, especially when you have this solar eclipse in your sign. All right, you've had many things happen. I mean, in the past 12 years with Uranus hanging out with you, and now it's in Aries. And then you have the eclipses then that you're just kind of like, you're going, yeah, this is it. But realize that there's cycles, that these things happened already 20 years ago. If you're over 30 and if not, 18 years ago. So think back about what happened, okay? And see how it's mimicking again. And this time it's because this way we can learn the lesson better and learn the lesson is not necessarily a bad thing. It is for enhancement so we can use new tools and to apply those tools in a different manner, okay? And to stay positive, all right? Because staying positive is very important. Unfortunately, you guys could get pretty heavy, negative, and moody. Not nice, not nice, especially when you guys want to hang out with me. Mm-mm. And I'm like, uppity, and let's go. And then I'm like, whoa, what's going on? Okay. I attract a Pisceans very easily. And it could be because my soul purpose is in Pisces. All right, in the ninth house. And it's just like, whoa, I know I'm supposed to focus on the sunny side of Pisces, not the shadow side. So I'm like, hey, that I cannot be. I need to be positive. I need to be healing and give. And so, you know, uh, that is something I constantly remember and remind. When you guys stay positive, remember, you guys can manifest and realize life so easily. You guys are ruled by Neptune and Jupiter. Oh my gosh. Okay. And so, whatever you guys focus on is what you create. When you focus on negativity, guess what you're going to create and bring more of? Negativity. So, focus on the positive aspects. Okay. Find it, it has to. All right, no matter whose perspective or who else thinks what, okay? You focus on that positive, and then life will be that focus. All right, well, thank you for watching. This has been La Sirena Nereida with Celestial Soul Wellness with a personal, individualized forecast. Remember, where I'm available for readings. Boy, we do natal chart readings. We do progressions, futures. Okay, I say future forecasts, which includes progressions, solar return charts, and the way the eclipses affect you individually. Also, we do, what else do? We do career, soul purpose. We do love, romance, lust, and we do harmony, intention, because everybody's compatible. It's just knowing the when to zig and zag, okay? And when I say harmony and tension, that also goes for family members, coworkers, and not just romantically, okay? It's good to know how to use the energies in a better way to enhance whatever productivity or reason why you guys have come together. Um, let's see here. Do know that if you're bringing your child in, if they're over 13, it is a private consultation with them without you. Okay, without the adult, it is legal and fair. I say that because some people, parents are like, no, I go, I have to then show out the paper. And they're like, oh, I go, yes. So let's see here. We do also do know that I do healings. I'm a master Reiki. I'm gosh, I'm still a certified massage therapist, though I don't emphasize that, but with the information of massage therapy and reflexology and gosh, all the different modalities I had learned. We do other Reiki, Theta, Access Consciousness, bars. I do also Psychic K. I work with also EFT, TFT. I'm therapist in all of those and practitioners. Wow, I know I'm missing something. And I'm also a minister, so I'm available for weddings. I love working with weddings and baptisms. Oh, and even last rites, and it's always a privilege. Okay, so yes, I'm an ordained minister, and we're available for Quipo Hula. You guys know that I'm a Hawaiian hula dancer, and our group is with Kumotoni. Kuipo o Hula. If you look further down on my YouTube videos, I have some snippets of some of the dances there. We're a group of ages 4 to 30, I mean 84. So whatever you guys need for availability for, work conferences, family picnics, reunions, birthdays, parties, oh God, quinceañeras, uh, different celebrations, we are available. So go ahead and give us a call, text me, email me, all of that, Facebook me, Messenger me. So it's wonderful. I do focus once again if you're doing a combination, any kind of healing. It does require an astrology reading because that astrology reading does bring out a better idea of what is going on and your need of healing. Okay, so be aware of that. Let's see, I work by Skype, I work by face to face, phone, and also long distance. So, I'm available for all that. And if you need a white light, let me know. Healing Loving Light, always glad to send that. And thank you. When you do ask questions regarding your charts or certain things, remember you are asking for information, you're asking for time and effort. Always it's appreciated for donations, cooperations that can be paid at Sirena's Celestial Soul Wellness, and that's Sirenas with an S there, then Celestial Soul Wellness at paypal.com. Okay? I'm sorry, at gmail.com for PayPal, Sirenas Celestial Soul Wellness, and I'll put that right there, okay, at PayPal, gmail.com. It's always appreciative. So stay tuned for the health section and the tarot and the meditation. This has been La Sirena Nereida. Chaucito.
This is Sirena Nereida with Celestial Soul Wellness, and thank you for watching. We're talking about the full moon on March in 2016. The full moon's at 4 degrees Libra, and we've done the general information regarding the astrology and the individual forecast. Hope you enjoyed it. And the health section, about how it affects your adrenals and what foods and crystals and incense will help you with that. And now we're doing the Oracle and Tarot card portion. So also too, I just want to tell you, remember I'm available for readings, independent readings, through Skype, phone, long distance, and let's see here, and face-to-face. I do teach classes, healing classes, the Celestial Soul Wellness, which is a combination of health, wellness, and healing. So those are Mondays and Tuesdays. And we have tarot card parties on Meetup, so look under Psychic Intuitive Journey. And also we have the drumming coming up. So hopefully we see you all there. The drumming, look under Sirena's Wellbeing or La Sirena Nereida for those times, events, and times and places. So, on to the oracle portion. Okay, so this is the past. Oh, look who's there. Okay, so become the master you seek. By the way, I am using the art through the eyes of the soul oracle, okay? These are by Cheryl Yambrach Rose. Very nice ones. Okay, they remind me of the... So being in the Celtic mode of St. Paddy's Day, thought we share these around, okay? So let's continue. We have the past, become the master you seek. So in all these changes with Pluto in Capricorn, and the new moon eclipse, we had the solar eclipse, with, wow, Sagittarius being inundated right now with Saturn and Mars in Scorpio, and with the intelligence of Venus and Mercury that was hanging out in Aquarius a little bit ago. We have developed ourselves. So the present is saying, haha, now, Lady of the Lake, find and hold your own power. So with all that, we've become the master. Now we're using the information that we have learned from conventional society and other religions and other belief systems and spiritualities to find and hold our own. What is our own? It is almost as if we should create our own banner, our own shield that represents us. I know a lot of people that use their bodies as a depiction of their own power and who they are, either by muscles, as a canvas, as a beauty with makeup. So, to show who they are, but make sure that inner self is what's coming out, not just what would you think make you feel better or others feel better. And the future with that is you are cherished and protected, to always remember that no matter what, you are always cherished and protected. So this is the obstacle. The obstacle with this full moon is move away from a difficult situation. All right? We have difficult situations. They cause us toxic. We cannot force things to change. And sometimes we need to just let it rest until we could go back in a more secure situation, in a more secure, confident body, in a more secure, confident perspective. Because whatever's going on is creating upheaval, whatever's going on is creating insecurities and doubts, and perhaps you're challenging yourself. Maybe this is not the time to challenge yourself. We see the mountains there, but then we have the caribou. Okay, caribous can help, and at the same time, they can't. They could be against us. So really, are we creating our own difficulty to challenge, to see if we can find and hold our own power? Or are we encountering it through others? So think about it. Some people create their own challenges because they want to see if they can grow. All right, maybe you're in a sports and you go into that sport because you are aware that there's going to be competition, because you want to see, have you grown, are you great? Maybe you literally do something and you're a rebel to confront society or authority figures to see, can you win? Have you learned yet? Have you mastered it yet? And maybe you have, maybe you haven't. But let's see the environment. The environment right here. Oh, wow. Retreat into nature and solitude. Yes, I can see that. I was actually thinking that yesterday, So right now, the environment is to retreat into nature and solitude and really combine and have a tantric exchange of energies with nature, with the animals. Because sometimes using the energies of other human beings are toxic because they are on different evolution cycles than we are. So knowing that is sometimes we need to just get away. We're getting that here. Move away from a difficult situation. Retreat. Again, move away and retreat. Okay. And in the process, find and hold your own power. Almost reminds me of in Vikings in this third season where, what's his name, Miho? The son of Ragnar? Bjorn? Bjorn takes off to prove and challenge himself that he is now a man, and he takes off to nature for a few weeks to live. Kind of like let's see if I say this right, a walkabout. Or when the Native Americans, they had the boys, I think it was at the ages, I don't know, between 11 and 14, they would go out for a few weeks to prove that they are man and now deserve to be with the men, and they have survived. So in a sense, that is what's going on with us in this Libra, because with a full moon in Libra, it's not about the relationships only. It's the relationship with ourself, and we constantly need to know that. And that relationship with ourself is important because we need to know what it is we can offer. Okay? Here we go. Now, this is the advice. And really, if one glances at it and is not focused, it almost it says beep, beep, beep happens. Really, though, it's saying shifts happen, okay? Stabilize your energy fields. Well, that is perfect for the eclipse because we do have changes and shifts. And we are very aware. So these energy fields are changing. We are in eclipse season right now. It's really nice because we have the cup. We have here within this, we have the tree of knowledge. And we have the infinity, okay, symbols going on. That means change is always happening. It's forever. And to be compassionate, we have the heart, the love to go and connect it with the cosmos. It's really important. So that is taking the time out, all right? Taking the time out to really connect with what is important, because And a lot of people think they're here just to survive and that's it. Their life, that's it. They die and, well, you can't take it with you, you know? But there's more. There's development. There's evolution. Every single person at one time or another has this longing and this longing to go home, yet even though they're home, like as if they're lost or as if they don't belong or they even feel like an alien life, because this is not the natural state we are in. Our bodies are energy, okay? And depending upon the energies we accept and we encourage within ourselves is our physical makeup. But what is inside is what connects. And the higher, more enlightened, higher evolved we become, we are less dense and we are more energetic and we are more aware, okay? And so that is what's important. And that way we can then deal with what's going on. And then now let's go for the outcome. The outcome, a deep secret will come to light. Rosalind Remembrance. Okay, so this is wonderful because we have the future. Okay, the present is fine, hold your own power. The way to do that is we need to move away from a difficult situation, retreat, allow energies to happen and connect, do that tantric energetic combination with the energy. Tantra is not all sexual, by the way. It's a state of energetic exchange, just for those of you who are not aware and only know it through sex. Okay? And with that exchange and with that divine intervention and really combining yourself, your energies with that, you will get earth rapture. You are cherished and protected at all time. Remembering that we are held with our own love, because when we are confident, when we feel secure with our connections with the cosmos, with the universe, the great white light source, the divine creator of all that is, then we know we are protected and it doesn't matter what happens, okay? I know that sometimes I forget that and I'm constantly, reminded that I'm still human and have my fears and insecurities. And sometimes I gotta push through them, all right? And then here we have a deep secret will come to light. A deep secret will come to light is the outcome through this future. And that deep secret, well, we have, it's very similar, that cross to the Knights of the Templar. Okay, the Knights of the Templar were known to protect the most cherished ideas and relics of Christianity, of Jesus Christ, the codes to the... All right, so this is a very good spread of taking time and understanding these energies that are happening with this solar and lunar eclipse. Understanding too, come April, we are going to have Mars go in retrograde. So though a lot of people want to use these energies from the solar eclipse and lunar eclipse to push forward, to move forward, come April, a couple weeks later, we're being told, back up. Nice ideas, good you developed ideas, slow down, develop those ideas more, and then you're going to be able to push them forward. Okay, so I know I get clients going, okay, this and this is happening, right? I'm like, nothing is for sure. Okay, what you have to do is balance yourself and accept that it can happen and that it might not happen, and what are you going to do in both situations? All right, but this deep secret will come to light. And let me just tell you a deep secret, really good. Everybody's human. There is no one, okay, who has not faulted, who has not felt like they have failed. And those people where you think and you put them on such a pedestal, they just don't show it so much on the outside, or they were fearful and didn't try things. And they feel resentful and they feel empty because they didn't challenge, they didn't do those adventures. So when they're older. And either way, people have those regrets. The regret should be if not living. When you're only focusing on surviving, then that is the difficulty. But living is what is important. So, go ahead, pause. Okay, so now we got the oracle cards, and I'm putting them over here because I want us to see what is important in the relationship. So what we have here is wanting a time of celebrate, but it's not yet time. There's still things that need to be done. Yet there's very much opportunity of celebrating, of enjoying of all the abundance, and what typical society says is succeeding in life, a relationship, okay, of having children. And here we have the cups, which is full of love and thrills coming away and opportunities, the rainbow. Yet it's still going, it's taking its time. Now remember too, for some people, succeeding in life does not necessarily mean a relationship and family. It is a relationship and family within themselves. Their relationship within themselves, because they cannot give with another. All right? And usually that'll be people who are more involved. You see more spiritual teachers and masters developing the relationship with themselves more instead of needing the energies of other people to feel fulfilled. Okay, so this is what we shouldn't do. What we shouldn't do is avoid and deny the abundance that's around us. We shouldn't just, God is giving those opportunities, and it's saying that we are denying it. Okay, we need to be aware of what those opportunities are, because they are forthcoming, and we are just not being open-minded. We are not having our eyes open to it, okay? We know that things need a change, and then we're just moping around and complaining. So what we should do, though, is being aware. And again, we have upside down cards, all three, so we need to take our time, which really shows that Mars that's going to go in retrograde pretty soon, okay? And during that time, we have it says the moon, but we have the moon within the sun there, very much the eclipse right there, you can see. We have the combination of water, land, the dogs, the Scorpio, all things rising within the pillars of ourselves. What is it that we are going to hold true? We are energetic beings. We are affected by the tides, by the moons, just like the tides are. We are over 60% water. It cannot be denied. If you ever got shocked when you rub your feet while walking on, with tennis shoes on the carpet and then touch some kind of metal and get shocked, right there is proof you're energetic being. There's no denying it whatsoever, okay? It's very scientific. Those of you who say, we don't do this because it's not part of our religion. Well, your religion needs to get updated of certain facts. It is what it is. But what is happening is forthcoming is understanding the flexibility and the transformation that is being allowed, to be aware of those energies and use it for major transformation. Yet you still are in the security, because you have the howling. The dogs are aware of those energies. They are seeing it and still keeping our stability. And understand that it is going to take some time. The outcome here, the future of what's going to happen if we are not aware, is that we are going to only lament, during this lunar eclipse. The lunar eclipse gets people very emotional, especially if you have any planets in Cancer, or in this case it might be also, since the lunar eclipse is happening in Libra, so the Libras and Aries are going to feel very emotional, and Pisces always feel emotional, moody. So those are three. So the cardinal signs, if you have anything within 5 degrees on either spectrum of 4 degrees Libra, so already 29 of a mutable sign, and going all the way to 9 degrees of cardinal sign. Okay, also too, because this lunar eclipse is happening in air signs, so any of your air signs, which is going to be Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, so anything of 29 degrees before that air sign to 9 degrees of that air sign. You will be affected by this full moon. So this lunar eclipse, I should say. And it's very important because most people with the moon want to think about what they don't have, all the challenges and obstacles, instead of seeing what they do have. Look at the bridges behind him. He doesn't see it. He's all wah, 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 complaining, whining, bitching. Life is so hard, this and that. When it's not, he needs to open his eyes, take himself out of himself. Move that cloak, look at what's available, look at the bridge, and to move on to the available abundance, what's there. And that's what's very important, because people get stuck. They get stuck in their head, they stagnate. And then they don't move. They shock themselves into paralyzing themselves and don't allow themselves to move forward. And that is the problem. And so we need to move away from there, just to show that there is some positive from after. If we do take ourselves out of this situation, let's just look. Oh, look at King of Pentacles is coming, hard work is coming, okay, and being aware. So if we can take ourselves out of that, we are very aware of all the possibilities. Money, balancing very much, the Libra right there, the merchant, okay. Here, the need for hard work, putting that there. That's just the Mars into play, okay. And enjoying what we have. And sometimes we need to leave. Don't look back at what we couldn't get, And that was going to be sometimes the Saturn in Sagittarius. So we really need to focus on that abundance. Okay, I know people, Jupiter's in Virgo, and people are really finding it going, well, it's not as great as I hoped, but it can be. And that's what's important, is to look forward and really see all of that. So this has been the Oracle and Tarot cards for this lunar eclipse. I keep saying lunar eclipse of 4 degrees Libra, March 23rd, 2016. And this is just another version of seeing what can happen, how to use these energies and being aware of it. Sometimes we need to listen to things over and over, put little post-it notes on the mirror and say, snap out of it. So move forward, reconnect with ourselves. What is it that we want? And whatever it is we want to reconnect with, it's okay, because it's probably just for a phase. Don't worry about being opinionated or being judged by others unless you're under them. If they're paying your bills, then we're under their control. So if you're under a situation, or you're in a situation where you're controlled by someone else, then maybe you need to find a way to liberate yourself or demand some respect, and really not so much demand, but insist on being acknowledged for who you are. Insist and put them in their place so they back off, okay? Anyway, so thank you for watching. Remember, we are available here at Celestial Soul Wellness for energy healings. I am a master Reiki healer, master access consciousness, bars. Let's see here. Theta, master theta. Well, master very high level theta. There's always more of energy, right? Also, Psyche K. What else do I do? Oh, can't think of it. Anything else? EFT, TFT also. There you go. Gosh. And Huna. So I am a Huna master, and also I am an ordained minister. I'm available for weddings. I love doing weddings, baptisms, and also of last rites, deceased. And it's always a privilege too when I'm considered for those events and celebrations. We do here also, we have the every once a month, and if you're on Meetup or look under Sirena's Wellbeing on Facebook or La Sirena Nereida on Facebook, where I put the events of our tarot card meetings. They're usually oracle cards. Some people will do the tarot. And we have drumming events during the year for the eclipses. So please follow along. And anytime you like our videos, please put like and share, not just on Facebook, but mostly on YouTube, because I'm a YouTuber. This is the way I put food in my son's belly, and fruit in mine. And so really appreciate it if you do like and share. And any comments, if they're constructive criticism, please tell me how you would like it better. And if there's a thumbs down, please be honorable and suggest how it could be better. If you're just putting a thumbs down, that's like a little kid, you know, pushing someone off a bridge and running away and going, ha ha ha. Okay, be mature, be responsible, be respectful. Okay, and say why. And that way I can make some adjustments if I can, because sometimes I might not. I'm not here to please everybody, but I'm here to offer healing, loving light to all the world through all time and space. So, in understanding that, give me a call, email me, text me. Again, readings through Skype, healings through Skype, phone, person, long distance, all of it's possible. And thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the yoga and the meditation. And this has been La Sirena Nereida, the Celestial Soul Wellness. Chaucito.